What is your experience with labels, and how do you feel about signing to labels and what they can provide versus going the independent route?
I don't think so the thing is, like, I know a lot of artists that are independent, and then I know a few artists that are signed. And it's always like both have their pros and cons with it. It kind of depends on what you want. Like for me, I'm somebody who I want like the highest you can go. Like I want Bruno Mars, Usher, like I want that fame, and honestly or that attention to my music. So like only a label, to me, in my opinion, can give you that, because they just have their hands in media and they have their hands in everything.
Right, they have their already set connection.
But it comes at a price. It also comes at like, okay, how much are you willing to give up on your own craft or your own creative control? And some people aren't willing to give up all that. You know what I mean? I'm not willing to give up on it, but I'm willing to compromise.
Right.
You know what I mean? So there has to be a compromise. Some people don't want to compromise at all.
I'll let you guys get one revision. Y'all can make your critiques and I'll give you one revision.
It also means like how popping you are. Like, you know, like some people are so popping that they don't need a label. So when a label comes to them, they can negotiate things like that. Like, okay, well, I want full creative control, and you guys can have control over this, or you know what I mean, or this, or I'll take your input with certain things.
So you're saying that artists like Bruno Mars don't have full creative control over their music?
Bruno Mars would definitely be somebody that has full control of his.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Bruno for sure.
But how does that happen? Because to get as big as he did, would he have needed to sign, or did he sign to a record label? And then
see, Bruno Mars is also a songwriter, so it's different for like people like Neo, Bruno Mars. What's my man that just came out? He sang on that Wiz Khalifa song. It's been a long day.
I'm just the wrong person, bro. I don't keep up with music.
I don't either.
Usher?
I can't think of his name, but it's like it's a new show coming out also on like NBC called Songwriter, and like basically all the songwriters that are like behind the scenes that are you know what I mean, like writing for everybody else, they're basically like giving other songwriters the opportunity to get exposure. But basically when you're a songwriter, you get signed to like publishing deals. So like if a label signed me as a songwriter, I'd be that label songwriter for their artist. So if Beyonce's on that label, then I automatically have access to Beyonce to submit a song to her.
Right.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
And then
if somebody's so if somebody signed to a label as a songwriter, and then I'm songwriter, I'm not signing anything, they're obviously gonna have the one up on me.
Right.
They're working.
So you're telling me these major artists don't write their own songs?
Not all of them. You know what I mean? I mean, they have help. You have to have help though. Like that's one thing I learned as a songwriter. Like, and with my career, like I work with two songwriters, Kendall Brown and Marcus White. And, you know, I trust them and they get me, and we have that chemistry when we write, you know what I mean? So, you definitely need a team though. Like you can't do everything by yourself. That's just not that's not realistic. And even having that mindset is like failure, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you have to have a strong, solid team that believes in the vision, and you know what I mean? You kind of go from there.
Right.
But yes, no.
I mean, it's kind of crazy because like going back to like signing to what is it? A more higher scale record label and whatnot. Like I've seen people like slowly step up to that plate. You know what I mean? Like so, like I guess one person is Danny Brown. He got signed by Fool's Gold Records, which is A-Track's label, and forgot the other guy, Nick something, but he started from there, and now I think he's signed by Universal or something like that. Would you ever take like a step like that? Maybe like find like a record label like maybe
smaller.
That's a little bit low key.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But they for sure can get you decent amount of shows, agencies, whatever.
Yeah, that's kind of where it starts. Like you kind of want to start out like that, and a lot of artists are going that route. I already have my own label, so the goal for me really, and I have like a body of work out. So the goal for me really is to get enough exposure to where labels interested, and I would just do an album deal. Like that's what I'm interested in. Just one album deal. The label get me. You know what I'm saying? They tell me what they can do for me, and I don't even mind giving the rights to my album, for that album, to that label.
All right, so it's essentially like a freelance basis.
Basically, but they're giving me that exposure. So all the work that I've done, I own creative control over everything. They don't have any access to that. That's all me. All those streams and the royalties from that everybody's going to see now, because they're pushing this album. But all my other body of work that people may not know, they're also discovering at the same time. So to them, it's all new. Everything's new. Right. You know what I mean? So,
but the thing with that, you're not exclusive to that label.
I'm still, but just for an album deal.
Just for the album,
right?
Not
so after the album, if after the album deal, we can renegotiate maybe a 5-album deal or a 4-album, depending on what we all, what we all come to. But that's what I would want to start off, rather than just sign to a label. You know what I mean? Because you can sign to a label, and then they instantly sign somebody like 2 days later, like, oh yeah, well now you're not priority, so you're gonna just sit and record all this music that you can't put out because we're paying for these producers and these engineers. So that's our music. So you're recording, and you're wasting time. Like you're being creative, but you're not getting to show people. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
because it comes at a cost.
Yeah, it's a lot of artists that have been out for years, but they're just now coming out, and you're just like, wow, where in the hell have you been?
Give me an example.
Big Sean. He was signed in 2006. He didn't come out to 2010.
Right.
Like that's 4 years.
So he was ghostwriting for other people.
Yeah, he worked for he was working on Kanye's album and stuff like that. He was busy. Like some people are so talented that you want to use them. You know what I mean? You don't want to just sitting, but like there are a few artists that sit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a few artists that just sit for a while.
How does something like that work? I don't know if you can explain this to me, or if you're even able to. But this is just the question that popped in my head. Is like, let's say, I want to record a song,
right?
But you write it, and then the studio engineer, everybody's doing it for free because none of us have money, whatever the case, right? But we agree, okay, 15%, 25%. How does that get distributed? Like, let's say you get 100 million streams, or I get 100 million streams on that song on Spotify. Yeah. How does that get distributed?
Usually you have a song split sheet. So you have the publishing side of things, and then you have the songwriter side of things. Usually 200%. So you have if me and you write a song together, we'd split it 50-50. Now, if the artist is singing it, essentially they don't own any of it.
Right.
They're just singing it. You know what I mean? It's that like I don't really know how to explain.
But if it's Beyonce, do you think she'd probably take most of the?
She would have that clout and that she's in a position where she could work on that. But Beyonce would probably just buy it outright. That's the thing. So like she would be like, "How much do you want for the song?" We'd be like, "Oh,
like instead of giving you
$200,000, all right." Here, now it's mine. Now she owns the song.
Well, yeah, because she knows with her cloud.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So if you're smart, you actually don't even want that. You want to be like, all right, can I get
royalties
credits, and can I get 5% royalties or 10%? You negotiate the royalties on it because that's a continuous. Every time she performs it, every time it's played on the radio, so you're getting more money.
You kind of just talked about it. There's different kinds of rights too, also, right? There's there's performing. Right?
Yeah, you got performing rights. You can get paid for somebody performing your song. You can get paid for performing your own song. Yeah, it's crazy now, bro.
That's crazy.
Like, so I'm through BMI, so they track everything.
BMI and ASCAP, right?
Yeah.
Which is explain to the people who are listening what BMI and ASCAP is.
BMI and ASCAP are basically like